Avatar: The Way of Water just crossed $2 billion at the box office, making it only the 6th movie to ever do just that. So today we're ranking all 6 of these movies from the worst to the best. What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor and welcome to my channel. Comment down below your list of these 6 movies down below in the comment section. Which one's your least favorite? Which one's your most favorite? This was actually a really hard list because, like, I love all these movies with my whole heart. We got some Star Wars, we got Avatar, we got some MCU, and another James Cameron movie. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Let's get into this. So I mentioned this is going to be a hard ranking, and that's because I absolutely love this movie. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies, but in last place at number 6 is going to be The Force Awakens. Now, I think this was a fantastic movie, and it's a top 3 Star Wars movie for me. This is easily the best of the sequel trilogy, and one of the better Star Wars movies in general. I love coming back into the world of Star Wars. I love the character of Rey, I love the character of Finn, and seeing Harrison Ford and Chewbacca back on screen again. Chewie, we're home. If you're a fan of Star Wars and you're a fan of Han Solo, that will not ever not make you smile. I think that made sense. I always get a big smile on my face whenever I see him and hear him say, Chewie, we're home. Such a great moment in this movie, and the action is absolutely fantastic. And it's just a return to Star Wars because I enjoy the prequel trilogy, but I know a lot of people don't. But this is just a return to form for Star Wars, and The Force Awakens was great. You thought they had a great trilogy on their hands, and it just fell through the cracks, but absolutely love The Force Awakens. It breaks my heart. It's at number 6. At number 5. Titanic. This is easily one of my favorite romance movies, if not my favorite romance movie of all time, and it's a James Cameron movie as well. It's kind of remarkable that he has 3 movies to cross $2 billion. The only director to do so. One of the greatest to ever do it. But Titanic is one of those movies that's based on true story, but has a fictional love story on the boat. Maybe something like this actually happened. But like I said before, this is one of my favorite romance movies of all time, and the way James Cameron has done action and these sci-fi epics, to go and just do like a very simple and heartbreaking romance movie is something that impresses me the most with this movie. Kate Winslet knocks it out of the park, but Leonardo DiCaprio, still to this day one of the biggest snubs for not even getting an Oscar nomination. He kills it in this movie, and it's emotional, it's heartbreaking, and it makes me not really want to go on a cruise because that sucker nailed the iceberg. And I don't care what anyone says, there was room on that wood, goddammit. At number 4, Avatar from 2009. This is easily one of my favorite sci-fi movies and probably top 30 favorite movie of all time for me, which is kind of crazy that it's at number 4 on this list. It just goes to show how many great movies have crossed the $2 billion mark. Avatar is one of those movies I'll never forget experiencing. I saw it on opening night with my mom. We had a great time, and I saw it again with my mom, and I saw it a third time with friends, and the third time with friends was just as fun as the first time with my mom. But I love my mom, and we had a great time. But in 2009, I'm used to seeing Autobots and Decepticons kind of fight, destroy, and that's a good CGI movie. But then coming into Avatar, this was unlike anything we've ever seen before, and still to this day, I can remember walking into that Century Theater on opening afternoon, like a 4:30 showing, and oh my goodness, was I just blown away by this world, the way they told this story, and the way James Cameron can hold this action together. It just makes for a great story, and at the time, I was 10, so the story, it was complex to me. I was like, this is insane, but now as I'm an adult and go back and rewatch the movie, the story is simple, and I can see people's complaints about that, but that never bothered me, because I went into this movie for the visuals and the experience, and going into the world of Pandora, and James Cameron brought me into that world, and I fell in love with it. You'll never be one of the people! At number 3, Avatar: The Way of Water. Easily one of my favorite movies of last year, and this is creeping into my top 15 favorite movies of all time. That's how much I love it. This movie, first off, it's just remarkable how well it's doing at the box office. But second off, I thought the visuals wouldn't be as captivating as the first one. But they were. The visuals in this movie are unlike anything we've ever seen before. Like, going underwater, you felt like you were there. I was holding my breath with them. I would have drowned 1,000 times, but that's fine. The Avatar: The Way of Water did something that I didn't really expect it to do, and that was to wow me again. I mean, I was expecting a good movie going into this, but I was not expecting to have my jaw to the floor, just literally amazed from what was on screen in front of me and how emotional I got in this movie. Several scenes, especially the hunting scene, that's just brutal. But the only complaint I have with this movie is the character of Spider. I mean, nothing against the kid, but... At number 2, Avengers Endgame. This, to this day, is easily the greatest theater experience I've ever had in my life. A smaller theater, about 90 people, but I was making friends sitting to the left and right of me, people I'll never see again in my life. I probably imagine them being there. But to see in the Endgame and the heroes have to fight back and win, there's something I wish I could relive almost every day of my life. Because going into that theater, I was so nervous. I knew the heroes were going to win, but how were they going to do so? We watched Endgame just a couple weeks ago, and I still had chills. And when Spider-Man and Tony Stark reunite, are you joking, man? This movie is filled with so many hilarious lines, so many impactful moments, some of the best action you'll ever see. Probably the best third act in cinematic history. It hits all the right notes while sending off some of our most beloved characters in a proper way. The Russo brothers absolutely destroyed it with this movie. One of my favorite MCU movies, but my favorite MCU movie, my favorite $2 billion movie, and possibly my favorite movie of all time, Avengers Infinity War, for one reason and one reason only, and that's because of Thanos. There's never really a time the villain wins, and he didn't just win, but he got you to really believe in what he was doing. He was one of the most believable and had the most motivation for a villain in the entirety of cinema, and that's what I love so much about this movie. I love a good villain. I'm a sucker for a good villain, but Thanos happened to be the main character of this movie. It should have been called Thanos Infinity War, because the Avengers, yes, they are the main characters, are pushed to the side because this is Thanos' story. This is Thanos' time to shine. And just the way they introduced him in the beginning of this movie and how he beats the living hell out of the Hulk, the entirety of Asgard, you couldn't touch this guy. And it really showed us what Thanos was about without the stones. He had one, but his boxing match with the Hulk, just beating him up, I mean, it was bizarre. But then the entirety of this movie, you start to think that the heroes are coming back, the heroes are going to come together, and you're never going to beat this guy unless they literally reround time. It's kind of insane how well they handle this movie, and for a movie to end and the villain set out exactly what he was trying to do makes it my favorite $2 billion movie. It gets the chef's kiss. But let me know your ranking of all 6 of these movies down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. This is a fun one to do. A ranking of all $52 billion movies coming out later this week. That's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.